This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, everyone, so I'm going to hop back into the presentation, and this is our first parent or caregiver night NWACS of 2022. So we're so happy that you all are here to listen to us talk about the Communication Bill of Rights to be the focus for the year. Um, So again, welcome. I am Margaret Edwards. I'm a speech therapist in the Renton School District, and also is
I'm Carolee Worth, and I'm a speech language pathologist at a clinic in Snohomish.
yes.
If anybody wants to introduce themselves, you're welcome to. You're also welcome to just put your name in the chat, or if you're a parent or a caregiver or a teacher.
I'm Carrie Foster, a caregiver.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I think we've got a couple others on here. Let's see. We have another SLP at a clinic in Redmond, Sarah. So welcome, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. Okay.
Okay. Let me know when you're done.
That's good. Yeah,
that's good. Okay. Okay. So far,
and we have a parent. So we have a parent, a caregiver, and an SLP.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well-rounded group. So as far as the agenda goes, first thing we're going to do is talk about a little bit about who NWACS is, the organization. Then we'll go into our presentation, which is centers around the Communication Bill of Rights. And then you can ask questions. However, feel free to interrupt at any time during the presentation and ask questions, or you can save them to the end, whichever makes you feel most comfortable. So NWACS, it stands for the Northwest Augmentative Communication Society in the Northwest state of Washington, and been around since the 70s. And I'm very proud to say that NWACS is one of the longest running organizations of this type across the country. And we have a annual conference. It's typically held in October, and it is going to be held in October again in 2022. I cannot tell you who's going to be a presenter, but I'm going to promise you that you are going to want to attend this one. NWACS is run by volunteers, and just let us know what you need. So really our focus is on serving the community of people who work with or are AAC users. And so let us know if there's some need that NWACS could possibly help meet out in the community that we don't already know of. So today we want to talk about the purpose and the content around the Communication Bill of Rights, understand who the National Joint Committee is, Committee for the Communication Needs of Persons with Severe Disabilities, who have helped develop the Communication Bill of Rights, and then understand how AAC ties into this whole Bill of Rights. So the National Joint Committee. So this is a group of people that advocates for those people with significant disabilities and how those disabilities impact communication. And it began way back many years ago in 84. There was a symposium. And then ASHA, which is the National Organization for Speech Therapists and Audiologists, ASHA worked with the NJC to help publish or develop this Communication Bill of Rights. So it is a joint effort between a few organizations that came together and put together this very important document that supports those people who are using AAC, those people with significant disabilities, just to help give them a voice, let people know that they have rights, and that we're here to support. And people like me, speech therapists, what we can do to support. In this, by the way, this presentation will be put up on the NWACS website. And then if you click on the title, it'll take you to, if you want to find more information about the NJC. So So the Communication Bill of Rights, again, there's a clickable link in the title that will take you to the Bill of Rights. We're going to watch a video that goes over all the rights total, and then we'll focus on one tonight. And then in subsequent months, we'll talk about each right. There's a PDF version you can download that is also a hyperlink. And Kate Ahern, she adapted the Bill of Rights. And I'm going to see if I can just show you this quickly. See if this works. Let's see. Did my screen change?
Not yet.
No. Okay.
And now, yeah, if you closed it out, so now the presentation is not showing, it's just us.
Okay. All right. Now, I want to show you this real quick. Here we go.
It's loading. You're muted though. So hold on, let's wait. Okay, I can see it. I wish I knew what you wanted to say about it, but we'll just take a look at this. So I think if you want to type it in there, I'm going to just kind of help take over for Margaret. So my Communication Bill of Rights, I think what's nice about this is that there's pictures, so to augment the words as well. And I think Margaret might correct me when I'm wrong, if I'm wrong when she comes back on, but the rights are just simplified, right? Under each one, is that right? So Margaret, we can only see the first two lines. If you want to scroll slightly, then we can see the other ones. That's good. That went, so that's the next row. And then there's one more. So it is worth, I think, clicking on the links when you're done. Like Margaret said, this will be posted. It's just a nice way to see it, right? In a different way rather than just reading. So thank you. I'll give it back to you. This is why we're doing it together.
I forgot. Yes, it was just another version that I just wanted you all to see, because you'll probably click on to use the PDF version, but just so you know that this version is out there. Maybe, you know, if you're a speech therapist or something, you might want to post it in your office or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So that was the Kate Ahern adapted Communication Bill of Rights. So the nice thing about the Bill of Rights is they're not specific to any specific disability or diagnosis or thing like that. They apply to children, adults, doesn't matter the setting, school, clinic, hospital, doesn't matter. These rights apply to all. And so that's really a nice feature, because if you have a student, or there's a student that goes to a certain school and then they receive therapy in a private clinic, doesn't matter. These rights apply to them.
Can you share your screen again?
Oh, I'm not sharing?
Not yet.
Oh, sheesh.
It's okay.
Just a second. Thought I was.
That's okay.
Am I sharing now?
Yep.
All right. So that was this slide that we just left, and now I'm going to go to the next slide for us talking about Kate Ahern. Okay. So when you have a chance to take a look at the Bill of Rights, you're going to see an opening statement before they go into listing each one. And this opening statement reads, part of it reads as this. So I'll just let you go ahead and take a few seconds to read this. And then I'm going to ask if you all would be willing to share. This is certainly optional, your choice. Any parts of these this statement that kind of resonates with you or seems important to you, or maybe you have questions about, or you wonder what something means, anything like that. So if you can just take a moment to read it, and then you can put in chat or just talk out, raise your hand or whatever. But just keep in mind, Carrie, that I can't see.
Yeah, I'll read the chat. We
Okay.
had a comment relating to Zoom troubles. So I think we have compassion for technology challenges.
Yes.
So any part that resonates, right? Did you?
Yeah. Questions or?
We don't have any yet.
Okay.
I'll share my first instinct because I've read this a few times, especially as we work on this. Just how powerful it can be for a child to affect their conditions, right? Just that first part resonates really powerful. We have one comment for children who are nonverbal. This is something their parents need to know for IEPs. Yeah,
Yes.
that's great. I think that's why we're sharing this, and this is why we have the outreach committee, is to share information for parents to know and understand, and also have references.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this would be so powerful for a parent to bring into an IT meeting, and then looking at it in relationship to the goals that are the communication goals, or even any goal that has been written for the student. Definitely.
Yeah, communication, I think also to social goals or even adaptive goals, it can
Yes.
really connect and help connect all of the goals together. And we
Right.
have another one. The part about disability of any extent or severity resonates. I've collaborated with some professionals in the past who try to limit AAC or communication access based on the perceived severity and disability. That's, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I thank you for sharing that. Do you want to comment, Margaret, or?
Oh, yes. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that I've come up against, it's too hard, they can't do it, they're not ready, we have to wait, any number of excuses. Looking at a person with, multiple disabilities, but yeah, you're so right. But this opening statement lets you know that no, AAC is for every person.
Yeah, and it's their right to have access to it, right? And so
yes.
I'm gonna just read this real quick and then I'll read it out loud. Okay, this is, I think, a question. I just wanted to make sure I was reading it correctly. How can they communicate if their aide isn't trained on their AAC device when accessing education requires communication? So I think also that's a great question. And I think part of this then can empower you and other members of the team to take this as a resource and say, ASHA and I don't want to, the joint committee, have this is longstanding. It's not just new information. And as a parent, you can walk in and say, here's the information that I have and advocating for my child. So,
right. And it sits on training.
Yes. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Everybody needs to be trained to know the system, know how to use the system, be able to ask questions about the system.
Yep. And if you're in doubt, put that into the IEP, that there will be training for the staff here or whatever.
Yeah, I think that there's a box usually, right? Isn't there a box in the IEP that says who needs training or being informed or training or special accommodations?
Yeah, there's a grid to an area where you can list accommodations and modifications or whatever, things like that. You could put it in there too. So yeah, you're right. Training needs to happen so that the people can help the student learn how to use their AAC for communication. Yeah. Agreed. Okay. Should I?
I think the next one's the video, right?
Okay.
Yes.
So let me try this here. Stop share, and
she might go muted. So I'll introduce the video. Yeah, she's pulling up the video. So we found a video that goes over all of the communication rates. So if you're able to join us the rest of the year, or even one or two, we're going to try and hold every other, or these information nights every other month. We're going to talk about each of these rights more in depth, and a couple of them will be paired together. So for right now, it's just a quick overview today, and then we'll talk about one. Margaret, before we start though, we have two more comments. I'll read them when we're done. So we'll watch the video and then we'll come back to two questions or comments. Since we have the video up, then you can talk too. So I promise I'll get to those. So here's the video. We're ready when you are.
Individuals with complex communication needs have the right to impact their lives through communication. The Communication Bill of Rights outlines 15 fundamental rights that should be acknowledged, respected, and encouraged with learners of all ages. The first 8 statements have to do with having the language to express a variety of communicative functions. They can request, refuse, or reject desired and undesired objects and people and events. They can make choices. They can express preference and feelings, make comments, share opinions, ask for and give information, including information about changes in their routine or environment. And they can be informed about people and events in their lives. They need access to the vocabulary to express what they want to say, how they want to say it. Number 9 specifically refers to having access to the tools needed to improve communication. Therapy, peer groups, low-tech tools, high-tech tools, a robust vocabulary, etc. Number 10 is acknowledging communication attempts and requests and being responded to, even if what they want to have happen isn't available. Just as we would with other children who ask to go to the zoo at 9 p.m., if a learner with complex communication needs asks to go to the zoo at 9 p.m., we would acknowledge and let them know that's a cool idea, but the zoo's closed for the night. If we don't acknowledge their attempts to communicate with AAC, we could be inadvertently telling them that what they have to say doesn't matter, or that their AAC isn't an accepted way to communicate. Number 11 is the right to have access to functioning equipment. iPads or other high-tech devices are going to need to charge or be updated, so a backup tool is needed for these moments when the main device is unavailable. Communication can happen at any time, even when the technology goes down. Number 12 refers to inclusion and involvement in the community. By ensuring that learners with complex communication needs have a peer group and that their mode of communication is valued and accepted, you're helping to increase their quality of life and sense of purpose in their environment. 13, 14, and 15 all address components of respect. All learners with complex communication needs are human and deserve to be treated as such. Give them access to words that they find in their environment and their culture. Talk to them, not about them. For more information about the Communication Bill of Rights, visit www.asha.org/NJC.
I'm going to read out the question or statements if that's okay, just so you can see it, Margaret, or here. Most parents are given the system without training. We only at the age of 13 learned we could get training. So that's a family that was kind of handed a system and not given a whole lot of guidance. Oh, sorry, I missed the one preceding that. So it's my understanding that caregivers cannot accompany a child to school. Is that true? Do you know that answer, Margaret? Is it true caregivers cannot accompany a child to school?
Do you mean like stay in the classroom with them all day? Or do you mean just drop them off at school? I'm not sure.
I think the next, yeah, do you want to clarify?
I was just going to say that I was just thinking if the person who helps a boy or my boy with sorry.
No apologies.
Anyway, if the caregiver could go, since I know how to use his talker, we call it, or voice, it just seems like that would be a good idea. But
if the caregiver could go to school and receive some training,
or train the staff, which are.
Oh, I was just to accompany the child who needs help with communication, to help him with the communication. If like his assistant at school doesn't know how to use the touch tool, they need to be.
So I would think that would definitely be a team discussion. Margaret might have a little bit more to add from her perspective. Most teams should be able to reach out and say, hey, we need help. And I think if a team didn't know what to do, then they would accept that help. I don't know. What do you think, Margaret?
Oh yeah, I think definitely that a parent or caregiver could go in and train the team. I mean, I've had parents come in and show me things. So yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so after watching, does anybody, sorry, Margaret, I just kind of took over for you. I started reading it out loud. Feel free to share one right that you're ready to learn about. I should have it in front of me. I felt like it was either number 9 or 11 was the one that stood out to me. I forget what it said, but it was, I think, controlling their environment or understanding what's in their environment. I'm excited to talk about that, I want to say.
Yeah. I want to talk about the one about treating them with dignity and respect.
Oh, yeah. They're all good. It's hard to pick out just
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Okay. Should I go to the next slide?
Yeah. So a parent said being able to refuse. She's excited to learn more about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Refusing's huge, and refusing appropriately too. Okay, so number 1 is the right to interact socially. So hold on a second. I'm going to go back to the chat real quick, and then I liked the same thing. The one about dignity and respect. That was another one. So great. So the next few slides, what we're going to do is kind of break down the first right, which is the right to interact socially, maintain social closeness, and build relationships. And so the next couple minutes, we're just going to spend, I want to check my time, just talking about, as an AAC user, family, you know, what some of those interactions might be. And I'm going to also give some recommendations for some words or what you might model during that time. Since we do have some family members and caregivers, if there's any activity specifically you want to ask about, you can always throw that in the chat, and we can give some recommendations, or we can talk about that at the end. But if we want to go to the next one, so to interact socially, common social phrases on AAC, and this is just an example, things that you might say and when you might say them. So activities, you know, think about people play games. I don't know the range of children we have, you know, but family or not family, like people games, like for little kids, like peekaboo, or if there's a fun social routine, you know, like a tickle game or something like that your family has developed, you know, thinking about peekaboo for a littler one, or somebody who likes to play peekaboo, boo, funny, where are you, you know, other things that you could say to be social within an activity like that. I like that, or I don't like that. It could just be trying to think of other, just an activity of interest. Every child's different, so it's hard to think of all of the possibilities. Are really endless. Other words that you could say or model when you're interacting to create that social part is to use expressions. So, you know, saying that you're happy or you're excited. I think I mentioned I like, or I don't like that. So, you know, you can express your feeling, you can ask for things, you can say what you see, you can say no. So all of those things can be incorporated into interacting socially. We want to go to the next one, maintaining social closeness. So again, phrases or words that kind of can maintain that relationship, and thinking about activities. So I'm looking at my notes here. So activities of interest, I keep coming back to that, but based on your child, you know, you're going to know what they like. Is it something that my child likes anything red, or my child likes anything with the car? You know, go follow their interest, follow their lead, and pick an activity that they like, and then model for them. You're going to hear us using that word a lot. But you can model things like fun, or play, or happy, more, do more, want, especially, you know, if you're sitting, maybe cuddling. I'm just thinking of that because it's been gray and gross around here. You're sitting inside, you know, just model, I love you, or I like this, or this is nice. So anything that your child likes, and when your child's interacting with you, these are all great words to be modeling. Just making sure and then the next one, building relationships. So for this one, you know, I was thinking about children or my clients, but any kid with who's important to them in their life. So family members, it could be friends, it can be people at school. I think we'll talk more about this, but having access to either their names or their pictures so that you can talk about them. Because even if they're not there, you know, I miss Uncle Bob, or where's grandma? You know, being able to talk about the people in the children's life, like those are people that they have relationships with. So family, friends, caretakers, I'm not leaving you out, teachers, peers, therapists, personalize the pictures if possible, but certainly put the name out there. One of the things I always like is using like go or go see. I have my name in several of my clients' talkers, and I always smile when they come in and they've been saying my name as they're getting out of the car. You know, being able to talk to them about, we're going to go see them later. So go see, phrases such as like, hi, how are you? See you later, goodbye. Even phrases, I miss you, I love you. All of those are going to help just teach those social relationships and social connections with your child. You know, I miss grandma, where's dad? So you can talk about the people in your child's life. I have a little bit, I'm trying to be sensitive about time. One other thing is just activities or games, you know, building relationships, taking turns, using your name and or the child's name. You know, that's a really great opportunity to practice using names or directing, again, with activities of interest or games of interest. You'll hear this a lot too, I think, but follow your child's lead. So going with their interest and what they like, and then finding ways to take that list of your words or concepts that you want to work on and integrate that in there. There's a lot of information, but those are the recommendations that we have for this first right of building, or the right to you know, build relationships, maintain social closeness, and interact socially. I think the next slide goes in just to our resources that we've kind of shared with you tonight. So this is the link to, I think that same title, right, Margaret, the Bill of Rights. And this is the, this is the written document. On the previous slide, you have the adapted version. And then you also have a link through ASHA. So if you want to go back and take a look at those, if you want to go in, and I think this PowerPoint will be posted later this week. So if it's something you even want to share the link with your team members, feel free to say, hey, I just learned about this, you know, like to have future conversations. That's why we want to provide the resources for you. That's it for tonight. But we'll wrap this up, and then, like Margaret said, we can take some questions here at the end. But our plan for this year in 2022 is to meet every other month. So the next Zoom will be in March 8th, and we'll go into depth and have a little bit more conversation about the second, third, and fourth right listed. We're going to just kind of go in order. So moving forward throughout the year, we'll then have an opportunity to discuss all of the rights listed. It's our topic or focus for the year. So those are the dates, little asterisk, they may change. This is real life, but that's our tentative plan. So if you want to join us again, that would be great. If you want to invite another family member or caretaker or member of your child's team, we'd love to have you back. And then I think the last slide is just information. If any of you are new to NWACS, want to go check us out, there's tons of information on our website. So feel free to poke around there. We also put the links up to connect socially or on social media. And I did want to point out that there is that the link for the Facebook or not? We have a special group. I think that's it, that the Caregivers Society. So on Facebook, we actually have a group just specifically for families and caregivers. So if it's something you're wanting to reach out to other families and see if you can make connections, feel free to take a look at that or go join. But Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, we've got all of our information posted on there. So you can go ahead and follow those links. And that's it for tonight. I think we'll stop the recording in a moment.